Hi there, viewers of Equinoxe Television, 6 p.m. by 6 o'clock. Thank you so much for joining us on this edition of the news. We begin right away with our major stories. The government of Cameroon has once again promised to tar the ring road linking Bamenda and other neighboring regions of the country. It is for the umpteenth time that the government is promising to tar the ring road in Bamenda and also the road linking Babaju and Bamenda in the northwest region of the country. And also in this newscast we tell you that fuel is still very scarce in some localities in the country, Cameroon, leading to an increase in transportation and consequently an increase in the cost of living in the country. Stay with us for details and more. Welcome back, viewers. We begin this edition of the news with this sad incident at Feu Rouge Besenge here in Douala, where a commercial motorbike is said to have lost his life in the accident which occurred this afternoon. We just told you at Valley Besenge here in Douala. The victim, who is a commercial motorbike rider, was on the bike with a lady. Eyewitnesses explain that the accident occurred after the passenger panicked and jumped off the bike. The head of the commercial bike rider was reportedly crushed by a truck transporting fuel. The accident perturbed traffic at Feu Rouge Besenge for several hours. We will sure be coming back to that in our subsequent news editions. And we told you in the headlines that fuel is still very scarce in some localities here in Cameroon, in the nation's political capital Yaoundé. The local population is complaining, especially commercial motorbike riders and also people who say that it has led to an increase in transport costs and consequently an increase in the cost of living in Yaoundé. Let's now have more with Lucille Yengo is here.
Fuel scarcity has been reported in some major filling stations in Yaoundé. With the scarcity, households complain they find it difficult to put food on their tables. Jean Lambert, an inhabitant of Yaoundé, says it took him over 5 minutes to be able to have his fire on. And this is very difficult for most of them who use firewood to cook. A complicated moment for filling stations who also complain they are unable to make sales due to the shortage. It's been practically 2 weeks we don't have fuel. This is really affecting our sales because we have an increase in demand. Visiting some stores in the neighborhood, a lot of despondency could be seen on the faces of sellers who also say they have searched to no avail. I have searched. I have gone to Rond-Point Lonkak, A2D, Trades Emena, but nothing. I was forced to keep my empty bottles. Like, what can I say? I just have to sit quiet. The undersupply is not just affecting store owners, but business operators, like this woman who sells food. She says she has used all her foil to cook. She has gone round town looking for it to no avail. The scarcity comes at a time when Cameroon is just recovering from the deficiency of gas in most regions. The population of Yaoundé are calling on the authorities concerned to look into the situation.
And now we stay in the central region, precisely in a locality called Eyambumi. It is in the Mbam and Inobo division of the central region where the local population is complaining of lack of social amenities such as hospitals, schools, and also potable water. Our reporter Mala Glory, the report which comes up next, tells us that during his contact tour of the local population, the divisional officer had a taste of the suffering of the local population. Let's now have her report.
Vehicles stuck in mud. The bad state of the road in Eyambunin B, a locality in Bangasina in the Mbam and Kim division, slows down business activity. The people here say it's difficult transporting food product to the market. The roads are really bad. We find it difficult taking our products to the market. We are forced sometimes to sell it at a lower cost. This is because the Yambunimbi stretch is almost inaccessible. The divisional officer from Bangasina, in one of his visits to the locality, had a taste of what the population has been enduring. Yambuni also lack social amenities such as schools, health facilities and water points. We lack health unit here. When our kids fall sick, we take them to far places to treat them. It's even worse when we have an accident. The victim bleeds and gets tired before reaching the hospital. We created a school since 2017. Employ 3 teachers and we still take care of their salaries. We call on the government, who has more means, to help us reconstruct the school and provide teachers. When the small water points in the quarters get dry, we go to other places where the water is not even safe. As the year gradually draws to an end, the inhabitants of this locality call on the authorities to take their complaints in the year 2023.
And viewers, we told you in the headlines that the government of Cameroon has once again promised to tar the ring road linking the northwest region and other neighboring regions. It is for the umpteenth time that the government is promising to tar that road. And just to note that the Baba-Jubamende road is still pending because construction works have never ended on that road stretch. Our reporter, our staffman Babila Jonathan, tells us that the civil society actors want the government to move from word to action.
For 39 years, the people of the Northwest region and the Republic of Cameroon at large have been expecting the ring road. And for close to 10 years, they have been expecting the complete reconstruction of the Baba-Jubamende road. From the head of state through the Prime Minister and the Minister of Public Works, promises are yet to be fully fulfilled. A greater proportion of the 2 roads are still in a deplorable state.
With the new deal of His Excellency President Paul Biya, when he came to power, the ring road, especially the Babachu road, was one of his priority. The road leading to Bamenda. I want to say that many promises have been made about the road, and His Excellency President Paul Biya knows that the road is under execution. The Prime Minister and Head of Government was in Bamenda sometime. His Excellency Chief Dr. John Goodday, and he said that the road was to be constructed. Up to now, the road is not constructed.
Has it not been for too long that Mr. Biya has been promising and failing? He promised that the ring road was supposed to be personally supervised by him. Since then, I can remember, if my memory is not failing me, he has not been to Bamenda up to 2 times. Or up to 3 times, I should say.
After returning from Bamenda Sunday night, breaking Monday, civil society leader Ndivu Emmanuel recounts the horrible experience of road users on the Baba-Jubamende section of the highway linking Bamenda and West Regional Camp to Bafoussam.
I arrived Douala this morning. I left Bamenda. I've been in Bamenda since Wednesday till yesterday. I left in the night. And I'm telling you that what has been done in that road is not up to 5% of the expectation of the people of Northwest and Southwest. It's terrible. The kind of dust, the kind of potholes that are there. And what surprises me is that since 2014 that they started singing about this road, voting budget every day about it, we have not seen anything concretely done on that road.
Linking Bamenda and West Regional Camp to Bafoussam. To Dr. Busi Neba, quick action is the only remedy.
If we have to see that Cameroon become an emerging nation by 2035, we don't need promises, we need action, we need to be pragmatic. It is high time we stop slogans, we should be patriotic. Patriotism is what builds a country. Nation building ensures that we have to be honest to be our country. And infrastructural development is very important. It is high time the Minister of Public Works and the Minister of Transport, they execute this project.
Winding across valleys and over hilltops, the ring road is seen by development experts as the key to unlocking the economic potential of the northwest region, and the Bamenda Babaju Road as a development springboard not only for the region but for the entire nation.
And those plying the Babaju Bamenda Road are going through a lot on the bad roads. Now let's show you the nightmare that commuters plying the Babaju Bamenda Road go through almost on a daily basis in this report.
From Babaju in the west region to the northwest regional capital Bamenda is a difficult journey. Drivers have to go into and come out of potholes throughout a close to 40-kilometer distance. This driver tells us that the length of time it takes to cover the distance has significantly increased.
When road is fine, if you easily take from Bamenda to Babaju, you take 1 hour from Bamenda to Babaju. Now, you take at least 2 hours 30 minutes.
This has a huge impact on his income.
If you want to check the transport, that 2,000 really help for anything because document of motor will pay, and then the road will take a motor display, go garage, all those things. It just help people and help them.
The greatest impact of the back
motor all time in garage. You work quite alright, but you don't feel safe any better thing because even your health, your waist pain, everything, all side they are seeing what then motor no dey fine. Come back to only garage.
Insecurity is another major problem along the road, especially from Matazam in Santa subdivision to Up Station.
We just come on and say we don't get choice. Man no be sure how die hungry because the one will not get the back up. We just want anything to happen to you.
It is for this reason that the World Bank suspended the financing of the project after the burning of construction equipments of the company that was executing the construction works.
Some time ago, bouncers and work there, they burned the equipment. And now we want to acquire equipment and we want to use the Genie Militaire, or we want to use the Commissariat de Brigade to see what can come. If not, we cannot carry all the equipment are very expensive for the state.
In Bamenda, the Prime Minister of the Republic of Cameroon, Chief Dr. Joseph Janguti, announced imminent resumption of reconstruction works on the Bamenda Babaju Road.
If there's no peace, look at the Babaju Bamenda stretch of roads, which was given out to Suggest Saturn. They couldn't do it. But we were managed, and I can tell you today that road is going to start because the World Bank has uplifted the ban they put on the construction of that road. So 3 national companies by indigenes of the Northwest are going to do in 3 different stretches the road.
At the Commercial Avenue ceremony ground, he gave more precisions on this.
Immediately I go back for Yaoundé. I convene the 3 companies where they get for do the Babaju Bamenda road. They start work immediately because the people where they finance that road, World Bank, they be put ban, say because of certain conditions, make that work no start. But just a few days ago, they don't remove that ban, so work will start this month in Babaju Bamenda Road.
Urging the population of the Northwest region to hold him by his words, he reassured them that the nightmare will soon be over.
After all the promises and the applause, the road network in the Northwest region, the Bamenda Ring Road is still pending. And now, speaking on Equinoxe magazine program, The Insights, the chairman of the Social Democratic Front, Nijon Fundi, condemns the fact that the tarring or construction of the Ring Road has become a sing-song known only on paper. Let's now listen to him.
The Ring Road is a sing-song. I remember in the early days, President Biya will ask, what is the Ring Road? Is it a house? Give it to Frundi. Madam Chente, if it's a house, give it to Frundi. He didn't know what the Ring Road meant. And unfortunately for us, the late Prime Minister Emeritus Simon Achidachu surely said that this is the ring road. This is the ring road, he said. And you see, the ring road became a mockery to the people of the Northwest. Because the North-Southwesterners had their PWD days, that on the earth road, the PWD workers were maintaining the roads in the rains. And they had a day for Mamfe go up, Mamfe go down. Mamfe Kumba going, Kumba Mamfe coming back. And people traveled in those days without accidents. Things were smooth. People could go to Nso. You could use the road from Bamenda to Wum. Wum, Mesaje, Kambe, you get across to Nso, Ndop, you come back. That's the ring road. But every year in his speech, Mr. Bia talked about the ring road. And when he talks, people clap. Oh, the ring road will be taken care of. They clap this year. Next year they clap. The next year they clap. The next year they're clapping. I asked myself in those days, are we Cameroonians a clapping population? Clapping in the face of that idleness. Clapping senselessly. Not clapping for things that are real.
Hopefully the ring road be tarred soonest. And now we talk something else. We talk the corruption scandal between Glencore and some African countries. Cameroon is still to initiate illegal proceeding on the Glencore corruption scandal over reports that the multinational was found guilty of corruption by a London court. The over 208 billion franc CFA corruption scandal involves Cameroon and other African countries as victims. Let's now have more with Informe Armstrong Sander.
Even with the London court ruling, none between Cameroon and the other African victims has instituted civil proceedings. Worst of all for the case of Cameroon is the flagrant disregard to cause and effort made by Cameroonian-born international lawyer Barrister Keremuna, former bâtonnier who was first to bring the case to public attention. The call from the former Transparency International boss coincided with the publication of an article by London-based newspaper The Financial Times revealing a big scandal of corruption and bribery splattering Glencore, a publication that came while the trial was opened before the British justice system. After 8 months of heated and contradictory debates before a London court, the multinational was found guilty of corruption and sentenced to pay the sum of 208 billion francs CFA. The amount represents damages caused to victims of its corruption practices across the globe. The decision rendered in November 2022 by the British court specifies that Glencore plc will also have to pay a fine, the amount of which was set at 70 billion francs CFA. In addition, some of its assets will be confiscated. The Swiss commodity trader Glencore was specialized in the trading of raw materials and mining across the globe.
And now a chaotic scene has been reported in Mevila. Mevila is a locality in the Sanaga Maritime Division of the littoral region where the local population took to the streets. They are protesting against the government's plan to impose a native or a chief on the village. They say the government only wants to impose a chief that can be easily manipulated, as Immaculate Fogwe tells us in the report which comes up next.
Furious villagers of Mivia, a village in Dizanga subdivision, Sanaga Maritime Division of the littoral region, jeering at the chief of the village, which they claim was imposed on them by the government. According to them, his appointment does not respect their custom and tradition. Holding placards, they decided to block the main entrance into the village to express their disappointment. We have been told that the government plans appointing a non-native of Mivia as the chief of the village. It is not the government's duty to do so, but rather the villagers. We want Magdalene Passy to continue to rule us. According to the angry villagers, the government wants to use the traditional ruler as a stooge to exploit their resources. Pasi Makuma has been leading us well for a long time. We are satisfied with her reign, but the government wants to enthrone a new chief who can easily be manipulated. This is because Pasi Magdalene refused signing contracts encouraging the sale of plots. This boils down to personal interest. The protest later turned violent. The villagers have unanimously agreed not to allow someone not from Mivia to be imposed on them as their chief.
And Barrister Joe Pollard has been elected as a new president of the MDR party, the Movement for the Defense of the Republic, 36 days after the demise of the former president Dakole Daisala. The new president said they promised to be good and reliable captains to the ship of the party. Let's now have more with Innocent Aze.
Barrister Joe Pollard becomes the new president of the Transition Committee within the MDR, Movement for the Defense of the Republic, of late Minister of State Dakole Daisala. He was elected during the Congress of the MDR that held in Marwa, grouping activists, sympathizers, militants of the CPDM, UND, FSNC and ANDP political parties, including administrative authorities, with the Far North Governor represented. Speaking after his election, Barrister Joe Pollard pledged to do his utmost best to lead the MDR like its founder. It is not easy to replace such a great political figure in Cameroon and lead like him. I will only try my best to keep the MDR alive and for it to grow in size. Our first task will be to reform the text of the party so as to have modern institutions. We also hope to cover a vast terrain at the national level. To assist him realize these projects are the Secretary General, Yonga, Moxia Jacques, Treasurer, and Bubakar Hamadou, an advisor. This team has 1 year to organize the elections of the National Bureau. Militants of the Movement for the Defense of the Republic hope Barrister Joe Pollard and his team will head the party to meet its aspirations like its founder would have done.
Si on pleure aujourd'hui Dakole, on a eu le fils de Dakole aujourd'hui, on a le Joe Pollard. Je souhaiterais en fait que le MDR marche main dans la main comme Dakole l'avait fait auparavant.
Militants of the political parties present encourage the new MDR leader, wishing him well as he takes up the challenging task to unite militants and ensure participation of MDR in political affairs that will better shape the future of the Republic of Cameroon.
And now we move over to Qatar. Mama or Kayu Marie, popularly known as Mama Leon, who is a fervent supporter of the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon, is out of danger, contrary to reports back in the country that she was raped. A special envoy to Qatar after the investigations found out that she only had a malaise following the cooling system of stadia there in Qatar. Let's now have more with our special envoy to Qatar, Martin Chikan Gabriel.
Came to Qatar to support the national football team that participated at the ongoing FIFA World Cup. Unfortunately, Marie Kayo, known by many as Mama Leon, is on a hospital bed fighting for her life. Marie Kayo is now on intensive care at the Hamad Hospital, a first-class health facility in Qatar. As it stands, Mama Leon is improving on a slow rate. According to medical sources, the patient is suffering from pulmonary infection, which was aggravated during the Cameroon versus Serbia encounter. As I arrived at the stadium, the place that I was given was beneath the air-conditioned spot, and I wasn't aware at a certain point I felt a strange cold inside me, and I told Mama Ito that maybe we've sat again around the air-conditioned place. That is how I looked for another sitting place. Immediately I left the place, I couldn't breathe. I was only held as I collapsed and even broke my arm. I was kept in a place to sit, and it was with my phone. They called the ambulance for rescue.
J'ai pu appuyer sur ma main, ce qui est même cassé. Ça me fait mal. et prendre mon propre téléphone, appeler l'intervention rapide.
Contrary to information that circulated on social media that Marie Kayo was raped, Equinoxe Television, that has always given verified information, confirmed that Marie Kayo wasn't raped. The information of her alleged rape we hear had caused havoc in Deido, as his son was totally perplexed.
Pardon, passez cette vidéo.
Please give this video to all of my family members. I need them to send my son, Kayo Blaise Devi, to come and take care of me. Thank you, Equinoxe.
Merci, vous êtes au cœur de ceux qui souffrent. Merci, Papa Equinoxe. Et je dis à tous les hommes bienfaiteurs.
All of those telling lies that are missing is unfounded.
Que les gens racontent que je suis perdu là, ils mentent.
For now, Marie Kayo is off danger, but the doctor in charge says her treatment will take a long time. The case of Marie Kayo comes several weeks when media men at the FIFA World Cup had a briefing with Dr. Saud Abdul Ghani, who said the cooling system in stadia wasn't dangerous to the fans or players at the competition.
Thank God she is out of danger and hopefully she leaves hospital soonest. Thank you so much, Smart Jikan Gabriel, for that report. And viewers, thank you so much for being with us on Equinoxe Television.
Equinoxe Télévision, au-delà de l'image, nous rendons compte.
Comme chaque année, de nombreux enfants rêvent de vivre le réveillon de Noël. Célébration impatiemment attendue par des milliers d'enfants démunis et orphelins. Pour un Noël en cœur,